guys, welcome back to the Jennbug Handmade podcast. I'm Jenn. You can find me on Ravelry as Knit and Jenn, and you can also find me on Instagram as Jennbug Handmade. Welcome back. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support you showed my very first Ravelry pattern, my peep socks. It was really cool to see it get hundreds of downloads, and it was just a lot of fun, like that even one person has decided to knit it. So a few people have started it as a project, and that alone makes me happy that, it could maybe bring some joy to at least one human in this world. So that was a lot of fun. So I wanted to say thanks to you guys. I really appreciated it. So the first thing we're going to talk about today, or that I want to show you guys, is I actually filmed this previously, but I did finish my baby blanket for the sweet little baby that I had the pleasure of delivering. And I talked about that before, but I was there when her mother lost her 20-week-old baby, and I was there for that delivery, and I got to be there again for the birth of their brand new rainbow baby, and it was just such an amazing experience. Oh my gosh. Only a nurse can be there, and on the worst day of somebody's life and on the best day of somebody's life. So it really was such an honor and a privilege, and one of the best days I have ever had at work. So it was really, really special. And for those of you who don't know, I am a labor and delivery nurse, and I love it. And I also have 2 little boys. They are they're 18 months old, and my oldest is just about to turn 4 next week, so we're going to have a party for him. And of course, I'm a wife, so, love to my husband too. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So I'm going to insert that segment here where I filmed that out on my porch. Hey you guys, it's a beautiful sunny day out here in North Carolina. It's in the 60s, so I wanted to pop in here real quick and talk to you guys for a minute out here on my porch. I wanted to show off a finished object before I gave it away, so I just wanted to get this filmed in real quick. So I finished the baby blanket that I was working on. This pattern is the Arantis blanket. I forget who it's by. I'll put a picture in here. And this is knit out of Miss Babs Yelza. Look how pretty this lace edge is. Hopefully the lighting is okay out here, you guys. Actually, it is it backwards? It's hard to tell. It looks, no, it's not. It looks so good on both sides, but this beautiful lace edging. Let's see if we can get this blanket all the way in here. Look how nice and big this is. I really loved working on this. This was such a fun pattern. I talked to you guys before. I went down needle size. I knitted on a US 9 instead of a US 10. And to make up for that, because this Yelza is more of a light worsted, more of like a heavy DK weight instead of a heavier worsted or Aran weight. So I went down 1 needle size to a 9. But since I did that, I decided to do a few extra rows. So it's actually quite big, this blanket, at least for a baby blanket. I think it's kind of big. So I did knit a few more rows than called for in the pattern. And the lace edging, to make up for that, you pick up 200 something stitches around the edge of this blanket when you do this. So I figured out that the lace repeat was a multiple of 12 stitches. So I just added however many sets of 12 stitches to accommodate for the fact that I made more rows before I started to decrease. So it all worked out really well. I really love it. The colors are really beautiful. And I think the person that I'm giving it to is going to hopefully love it. And yeah, I'm really excited. I also made a little pair of baby pants to go as part of the gift. There's my little Jennbug Handmade tag. And I have these fun size tags, which I got. I got these from I think it's Dutch Label Shop. So if you need custom labels for anything, you can go and check them out. You can put whatever you want on there. And you can also order like sizing labels for a really good price. So you can check them out. But yeah, little baby unicorn pants. I made actually 2 pairs of these. One of my coworkers at work also had a baby, and it was a surprise gender baby. So found out it was a girl a couple of days ago. So I'm mailing these out to her house today, and a little gift along with it. So that's exciting. But these will also go to my sweet little patient that we talked about, who is going to be getting this blanket before the next time that we podcast, or that I actually podcast and this goes up. So I just wanted to pop on here real quick and show this off to you guys and say hey from my porch. And I'm trying to get my dog Henry on here. Henry, come here so you guys can meet him. This is Henry. He's my firstborn child, and he is a grumpy old puggle, but we love him very much. How old are you now, Henry? You're 10 and a half. He will be 11 in September, but he's the goodest boy. Isn't that right? Say goodbye. See you later. So hope you guys enjoyed that. That was such a beautiful blanket to make, and they were thrilled. They absolutely loved it, and they took their newborn pictures with it, and with the baby, with her wearing in the blanket, and they actually got a picture of me holding the baby. So it was such a great experience, and that blanket just made me so happy. You know, that's what knitters do. We send our love through blankets and knitted items and all the things that we can make. So it was a lot of fun to do that, and it just made my heart so happy. But anyways, moving on. This is, by the way, the episode all about the blankets. I finished another baby blanket, and this is for my niece that I was working on, who is going to be here. Her due date's March 22nd, but we'll see. So yeah, I finally finished my habitation throw for her. So, and like I said, I know this is like blue and purple, but we don't care. My sister loves these colors. She's all into ocean themes, and I know she's really going to love this blanket. So this was made from the Sweet Georgia Advent calendar, and for Christmas, it was like a kit, and I didn't obviously make whatever the pattern was. I decided to knit this up into the baby blanket, and I really love it. But it's basically Sweet Georgia's sock yarn. And this yarn right here, I actually ran out somehow, even though I thought I calculated properly. But the great thing about this blanket is it is a scrappy project. So I went in my, where I keep my little balls for my mini skein blanket that I'm working on for me, and I just picked out this leftover from, I actually showed you guys these socks on another one of my podcasts, but I added this on because the colors match. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. This is a super easy pattern and such a meditative knit, and I really loved it. I will say, Curious Handmade, the way they write Helen Stewart writes her patterns, she has it where she will like do it line by line. So that way you know when you're like 10% through or 30% through, and some people really love that, but I kind of do not like the way that the pattern's written, because I like to be like, okay, knit repeat these rows this many times. If it's all written out, it was actually very hard for me to like read obviously I'm a knitter. I've been knitting a while, and I knew what to do, but I didn't love the way the pattern was written. So that's one thing I will say about Curious Handmade patterns. I didn't really love the way it was written, but that's just me. A lot of people really like the way she writes her patterns, and that she does it step by step. But for me, it was like too much, and I like somehow couldn't keep along the more written out it was. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. Has anybody else written or knit up a Curious Handmade pattern? Let me know what you think if you've seen her patterns and know what I'm talking about. But I did not enjoy it. I just want to know, like, I don't need like 5 pages of step by step by step. I just tell me like what to repeat and when. But maybe that's just me. Who knows? But yeah, I really, really love this. And my little sister is going to love this. And I'm going to go ahead and show you this, even though it's half done. I've been working on her baby nest, and it would have been done, and it's like probably 5 minutes away from being done. Okay, 5 minutes in craft time, but really maybe like 20. But this is her baby nest, and I ran out of polyfill that I've been stuffing it with. So down here is where you can see it's all loosey-goosey. So the way it works is it has like this toe flap that this will be full. These will be all curled up, and then the toe flap goes over it. So that way you can adjust these little strings down here and pull the nest tighter if you need to. So this is the reverse side of it, and oh my gosh, I loved making this. This did not take me that long at all. It's probably took me just as long to tape out the pattern and cut the pieces as it did for me to actually sew this. Like, I was really impressed with this pattern. And this pattern is by Peekaboo Pattern Shop. They have a Facebook group, which is really super helpful, and I've really enjoyed just sewing tips from them in general. I need to snip. There's a thread there. I've really enjoyed like just learning, you know, what other people use to baste and to do whatever. And, you know, apparently for those of you who sew, you probably already know this, but instead of like just cutting out pattern pieces and then tracing them and then cutting your fabric, you can get projectors installed that will project the image onto your table so you can just cut it out. What? I did not know this. It seems super complicated, but everybody on that group who says that they've gotten a projector installed to cut out their patterns say they love it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, it's awesome to be a part of like those groups where you can learn things. And also YouTube, which is podcasts, are where I learn so much about knitting and how to make. And so that was a big part of the reason that I wanted to podcast, so I could, you know, share the things that I'm making and what I do. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyways, you should definitely check out, if you're a sewer and you haven't made a peekaboo pattern, you should totally check them out. Like, I highly recommend it. I love making this. And I also did, you were supposed to quilt this inside, and I tried, you probably can't see it, but I tried to do like mermaid scales. And what I did was I took I have like these fabric pins that they write on there, but then it disappears. It's like the disappearing ink. I just like drew the scales by hand, and then I went back over and quilted them. So I thought that was really cool. You might be able to see it better on this side, and they're not perfect at all, but my little sister does not care. And I just think this is so cool. It's reversible, which is awesome. And I love the fabrics. I think they worked out great together. And the way you make this cording is so cool. Like, I thought that this was going to be really hard to run this drawstring cord up through here, but the way it's sewn is just, it's easy. It really was not hard at all. So I will be very excited to finish this up and give this to her. But I wanted to get it on camera just in case, because I'm going to be getting her this stuff very soon. And just in case I finish it up and I don't get it on the camera again. But I really love this. And I'll put a picture the next time I podcast of it all finished up. And I will definitely post it on my Instagram. Love it. This is such a good pattern. I wish that I had known about this when I had my boys, because I totally would have made them custom baby nests. I love it. Love it. Awesome. So anyway, and it matches her blanket, which I love. So I thought that was really cool that it's gonna match. Yeah, I'm excited. So I've also I'll just keep on the sewing route. I've been making a lot of hats, which is why I don't have a ton of knitting to show you guys today. I did some special pre-order hats for nurse friends and people who had, you know, been Etsy customers who followed me on Instagram. I went down to the local fabric shop, and my girl out there, Bonnie, she was like, oh, I got these nurse prints. I thought of you. So I was like, oh man, let me see if like some people want some hats out of these. So I did that, and I don't even have the prints to show you, but they were like EKG pattern, and which is like the heartbeat, just so y'all know. And I'm sure you do. And some of them had like blood pressure cuffs and stethoscopes, and the other one had a bunch of words all about nursing. So that was really fun. My scrub hat PTSD is slowly going away, although I still I don't love sewing them anymore, but I'll still do it here and there. It's not bad. So let me just show you. These are a couple of the hats that I made for me. And I will show you guys these. So this is one style of hat that I do. And this is like a slouchy, I call it my slouchy ribbon hat. And I can do it without ribbon too. But this is how I wear these. And I love it. So for anybody who doesn't know, these are scrub hats. And these are worn at work. They're required in the operating room. And they have those like lunch lady hats. But the people who work in the operating room all the time, obviously sorry, they're getting stuck in my cute earrings here. These earrings are by Rosie and Jean. I love them. Those ladies are so sweet. I know I talked about them a lot, but I really love their clay earrings. But anyways, it's not on really great because my hair is down, obviously. But this is how I wear my bow hats. And they are really fun. And this bow wasn't like a big thing, but I kind of like added it on and made a style. So I thought it was cool. But yeah, this one has lattes on it. So this is a hat for me because lattes are my jam. And coffee in general. I love coffee. I love tea. And I love water too. And that's like 99% of what I drink. Yeah, all the time. So I love my latte hat. Fun, and I can't wait to wear it. But yeah, these are really cute, and I've started wearing them because we have operating rooms because we do C-sections, but I've just started wearing them every day I go to work, and a lot of nurses have started doing that because of COVID. It's just an extra layer of protection, so you don't get germs all up in your hair and this and that. And I wear hospital scrubs, so we have these ugly green scrubs, and the only bit of personality that you can show is basically through your scrub hat. So I like making up cute scrub hats, and that's how, the whole Etsy shop with my scrub hats started. But like I said, I'm really grateful I'm not doing that anymore. And I just want to say again, I am so grateful, even more grateful for people who dye yarn and, make things and sell them. Like, they're amazing. They're amazing. And also, I will say, people all the time are like, oh, you're so talented. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure you other knitters get that too. And, yeah, when it all comes down to it, it's knits, purls, increases, and decreases. Like, that's all it is. Cast-ons and bind-offs. Like, you guys know it's not really that hard once you learn how to do a technique and if you have a really good resource to teach you. And it's just funny because I'm like, no, I'm not talented. The person who dyed this yarn is talented. That's the person who's talented because they're out there creating art. And I'm like taking their beautiful art and knitting it up. So they're the ones that are really talented. I'm just over here, just making the thing out of it because people think like, oh, they see how beautiful it is. And it's like, well, really it's the yarn's fault that it's so beautiful. At least that's how I feel. But, but obviously like it's never bad to get a compliment on your knitting and for people to appreciate it. But I think a lot of what people don't realize is that, when you use high quality, hand-dyed, gorgeous yarns, it would make like anything look beautiful. It could have actually been something terrible and it would look beautiful, but what do I know? So, but this is the one style of hat that I make and that I wear myself. And I have some with the ribbon, without the ribbon. You can also, my hair's not actually in a ponytail right now, but I'm going to try to do this. You can also tie it in the back, which is really cool. I don't know how much you guys care about these scrub hats that I make, but I'm going to show them. So yeah, you can tie it in the back around your ponytail as well. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I love these hats. So anyways, that's hat number 1 I made for myself. And then this was another hat that I made. I just love this fabric. I saw it at the fabric shop, and this is Riley Blake fabric. I'm not sure what the other fabric was, but oh my gosh, adorable. Adorable. And it kind of looks like a chef's hat, but It's supposed to. This is a bouffant style hat, and I call this one the mini bouffant because it's got a lot less fabric, but I have a bigger version of this that I used to make called a full bouffant. Full bouffant. I actually took the pattern that I was using because I paid for these patterns, and if any of you are interested in these scrub hats, or like if you want to make them, I'm happy to let you know where I got the patterns for these. And if you wanted me to make a hat for you, I would consider it if if you really needed one and you were a nurse or something. Like I said, I make them sometimes, but this hat, so the mini bouffant, I actually adapted myself out of the other pattern and just learned how to make it smaller. So that was cool. But this is the mini bouffant style. I just really love this bee fabric. I think it's so adorable. This Riley Blake bee fabric. But yeah, this is the mini bouffant style, which I also really like. And the full bouffant just has more, it hangs down more in the back. It's not as, it's less, the full bouffant is more of a chef hat, and this is more of like a shower cap. So if, that's the best way to explain it. But really glad to have a few new hats for myself. Makes me really happy. So, because like I said, this is all I get to wear at work. So anyways, that's enough of talking about scrub hats that I'm sure you guys are like, okay, whatever. But yeah, if you want to know where I got the pattern, I will send you the link. Just leave me a comment below. Love these. And I'll tell you how to make the mini because I literally, like I said, I just adapted this out of the full bouffant. Love it. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys also, since we've been talking about baby blankets today, let me get my hair did here. I'm going to show you guys the blankets I made for my two boys. So I made this as soon as I figured out, or that I knew that I was having a boy. I knit up this blanket. This pattern is called Vivid by Tin Can Knits. So this is Bradley's baby blanket, and he loves it, obviously. He's had it since birth. I took both of these to the hospital, and I wrapped my babies in them first thing over their other blanket, and I really love it. This pattern is a lot of fun because you make each square individually, and then you sew it up together. And this is made out of Miss Babs, and she had it was like a feet mini skein set. So it was her toes, sorry. Miss Babs 2-ply toes, and it was a set of them. And all of the colors in this set, the whole set was called Orion, like Orion's belt, the constellation. And each one of them was like named after one of the stars, each color in the constellation. So I thought that was so cool. And obviously had to get this. I love that constellation, and it's probably it's like the constellation that I'm able to recognize in the winter, because in where I live in North Carolina, you only see it in the winter. But yeah, my grandfather used to teach me how to find certain ones, and Orion was the one I always loved the most and remembered, and so it always makes me think of my grandpa and riding in his car. And my grandparents kind of raised me, so I was really close to them, so it had a special meaning. So, sometimes you'll see a yarn or a colorway and you're like, oh, I have to buy that. It doesn't even matter what it looks like, just because of what it's called and what the inspiration was for the dyer and what it means to you. And this was absolutely one of those colors. So I love it. And this one is quite a bit fuzzier than the one I've knit my other son. Bradley dragged this one around a bit more, and it's been through the wash a few times, but I can't see if you can tell, but it's a bit fuzzy now. But that's all right. Still held up very well. There's spots where, the yarn is poking out a bit from where I seamed it, but I don't care. He sleeps with this every night still, and he has lots of blankets. He's particular about how they need to be and this and that, but this is his. And then I knew that I was going to have to make another blanket for my next boy. So another Vivid blanket. So this is Walter's, and his is green. And I don't know why I would just always feel like blue is Bradley's color and green is Walter's color. Like, that's just how it's been since I had him. So when Bradley was born, I had him in a lot of blues, and I would buy him a lot of blue hats, and I don't know. I just associate blue with Bradley and green with Walter, and that's just how I've always always been so. And it's funny because that is also their birthstones. This ring that I wear right here is actually, I got this for Christmas, and it's all of our birthstones. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's my husband's, then mine, then Bradley's, then Walter's. But Bradley is aquamarine and Walter's peridots. So, you know, March and August. So that's like their birthstone colors. So that's why I guess part of me associates those colors with them. But anyways, this is Walter's Vivid, and I love it. This one is definitely holding up better, and probably because he's like 2.5 years younger and it hasn't been through as much. But my husband put the other one, Bradley's, through the washer a few times, or the dryer. I don't mind them going through the washer, but I don't like them going through the dryer. So I had to be like, stop doing that. So I think that's why that one's a bit more fuzzy. This one's been preserved a bit better. And this one is knit out of Plucky Knitter Feet. And it was like a gradient set, and it was called Toil. So I really love these colors too. This yarn is a bit more sturdy just because of the construction. This is a 2-ply yarn. So I think that's part of also why it's a bit fuzzier. And not as rugged, I guess. And this one is one of those hardcore 4-ply sock yarns, so I think it's holding up a little bit better. Yeah, I've totally come to this realization that, I mean, and I still love 2-ply sock yarn and the squishiness of it and how awesome it is, but I've come to this realization that at least for socks, I'm totally digging the 4-ply yarns. So this is Bradley's and this is Walter's, and I love their baby blankets. You know, hopefully they'll have them forever. I can't wait. Hopefully, you know, maybe one day I'll be a grandma. I mean, obviously not anytime soon. They're very young, but you know, I'll knit their babies some blankets, and I hope they love them too. But I love their baby blankets. They make me so happy. And let's see, I have a couple more projects to show you. I haven't worked on a ton, but I did knit on some of my Outlander projects. Excuse me here, my bag is directly below you. First thing is, and this is an Erin Lane bag. It's a little sock sack. I just really like this color, or this fabric. So this is one of the few sock sacks that I've kept. I knitted a bit more on my husband's socks. I turned the heel, and this colorway is called Sassenach. And it's by Nomadic Yarns, and this is her Brit sock. And this, I think this might be a 2-ply yarn. I'm not sure. If it's not 2-ply, it's 3-ply. I don't have the ball anymore, but since it's BFL, Blueface Leicester, I cannot pronounce this, but BFL base, which is that more sturdy wool. I think it holds up a bit more. I've made quite a few pairs of socks out of this yarn already. So I've turned the heel, and I am knitting on the gusset there. But yeah, I love these colors. It's so pretty, so outlandery, and we've actually been watching, so I somehow finally got my husband to watch Outlander with me, and it's been a lot of fun. So when the kids go to bed, we get to watch Outlander. We're in like the middle of season 3 right now, which is awesome. Yeah, so that's been exciting because I already watched it twice by myself, so then I started playing it again and kind of got him interested, and so now we've been watching it, so that's cool. I don't know if, you know, for those of you who've actually watched it, he hates Claire. He's like, he thinks she's a hoe, and I mean, he's kind of not wrong, I guess, you know, but it's just funny. It's funny to see his reactions to things and everything after having watched it twice alone. So now I'm watching it a third time with him. But this sock yarn, it's Nomadic Yarns. I don't know if I said the dyer, but I love her. Love her yarn. She is a great yarn dyer. And the next project I'm going to show you guys is my Randall Fraser sweater. And this is coming along really nicely. I just split for the sleeves, so I'm very excited about that because, as y'all know, any of y'all who've made a yoke sweater, it takes off like this much stitches of knitting. So now you're knitting on a smaller circumference and things go faster. So yeah, that's actually the back. This is the front. So yeah, I am very, very excited about this. I think this is so pretty. I love the way this yarn is just popping. I really love it. And this is so soft. It's an alpaca. So the yarn is, and I've said this before, but this is Plymouth yarn. Wait a minute. I don't think this is the right tag. I think this is the wrong tag. Hold up. Okay, no. Oh yeah, here it is. Quaker Hill. Plymouth yarn, Quaker Hill. These were from something else, from the Bernie Mittens. I don't know how they ended up in here. Yes. And it's like taupe, black, and natural, I think are the colors. So yeah. It's a 50% alpaca, 50% wool. And it's one of those, if you have a sensitivity to like woolly yarns and mohair and things like that, then maybe this isn't the yarn for you, but I love it. I think it's so soft and squishy, and like I said, I love the way the color work is looking on this. I'm really excited. So I plan to hopefully, that's all the knitting I'm going to show you guys. I'll talk about some of the things I'm planning. I want to finish this sweater because I just think it would be nice to have a new finished sweater off the needles. I really want to finish that. I have a lot of stash enhancement coming. So I ordered some more Miss Babs because I'm obsessed. I'm sorry. If you don't want to hear about Miss Babs, then this is not the podcast to watch. I've been a fan of her yarn since day one of me finding out that there was luxury hand-dyed yarn out there. So I got some Miss Babs coming. I actually saw a skein of Yowza on her website that I wanted so bad. The colorway is Blue Savannah. It's so pretty if you want to go check it out. And so I swapped out, I destashed the skein that I had that I was planning on knitting with because it was so similar that I knew I wasn't going to knit with both of them, but the other one had pinks in it, and I love pink, so I had to get me some pink. So I destashed that skein and I ordered that plus a skein of sock yarn because, just throw that in there. It'll be fun. So that will be coming shortly, which I'm very excited about. And I also was able to finally get on that Lollipop yarn update. And let me tell you what, I got a skein of sock yarn for me and a skein for my husband. I'm so excited. The colorways I got were just perfect for both of us. So can't wait to show you those. I'll show you next time. And I also ordered some Skein Cocaine today. I am super hyped. She has mystery grab bags right now, so hopefully she still has some, and you can go check those out because you can get 4 skeins of yarn for 60-something bucks, which is a heck of a deal for luxury hand-dyed yarn. So I got that, and I got some of her big plushy skeins, so I'm excited. And I also ordered a sock set, a perfect pair. It's got a slubby yarn and then a mohair type of yarn or Surrey alpaca yarn. So the fuzzy alpaca. Yeah, I have some thoughts about the things that I'm wanting to make and design. I've already been kind of dabbling in it a bit. So once some of these beautiful skeins come into my life, I can start to knit those patterns up and write them up and make them into real life. So those are definitely on the horizon, so stay tuned. One of the shawls I want to make is definitely, it's going to be out of the Yowza, and it's going to be an easy shawl that anybody can knit. So that's the plan with that one. And then I have a more lacy, intricate shawl that I've been thinking about, and I already know what the name of them these are going to be and what it's going to kind of represent. So can't wait until those come in. Yeah, I'll keep you posted, but I know that the first one I'll be working on is the Yowza one, and it shouldn't take long. It's just a matter of me literally knitting it up, writing it down, and making up the PDF, that one, because I know it's not going to be super complicated. And that's the great thing about shawls is that, you don't really need test knitters for those because, you can, obviously, and it's great to have people already have the pattern made up, but shawls will fit everyone. They're one size fits all, and as long as everything is written out simple and clear, you can make a shawl. I love my shawls. This is my Find Your Fade shawl, which I've shown you guys before, and I really love it. So if you want to see more about this shawl and hear about it, go to podcast 1, episode 1, and you will hear more about what I had to say about that. The last thing I'm going to show you guys, I actually have a couple more things, is some stash enhancement. I got these beautiful skeins. My mom bug sent them to me. I've talked about her several times. She is a big part of my life, and the reason I'm a knitter, and the reason, you know, that I have nice knitting things sometimes, because she sent me these. So these are Malabrigo sock skeins, and these are for I think it's the Temperance shawl. I'll put a picture here. There's going to be a knit along with the knitting coop starting April 1st, which I love that she gave us enough time to get yarn and get it wound and get ready for the knit along. I think that's super great because sometimes I don't do a knit along because it starts too fast, and I have to be prepared for these things, okay? So I'm actually going to do the knit along, which I think is great because I love the shawl. It's like in the hot right now on Ravelry. And so my mom bug, she tagged me on Facebook and she said, pick out one of the sets and I'll mail it to you. Like, I'm so grateful for her. I'm so lucky to have her. Like, it's like having a yarn fairy who buys you crafty things because they love you, and it's wonderful. So I am very, very blessed to have my yarn fairy mom bug. But aren't these so pretty together? I don't have a lot of green that I actually wear, so I'm really excited about this. I love purples, obviously, so, and these look so great together. So I cannot wait to knit this up and wear this because I love these colors, and these aren't colors that I always have. This is their sock. Sock, Malabrigo sock, and the colorway is aguas, which I think means water in Spanish. I know muy poquito español. I only know food words from when I worked at the Golden Corral and some nursing terms, like dolor is pain. But anyways, Flavia is this color. And this color is Fortaleza. There, you can see for yourself. Very pretty. Very pretty. Malabrigo is awesome because it's very affordable. And I think it's dyed in Peru, if I'm not wrong. Yes, made in Peru. They have beautiful, affordable skeins. So I love Malabrigo. They're great, just staple sock yarn. If you want some really pretty indie yarn at a little bit more of an affordable price, you can definitely check out Malabrigo. And I know you can get it on JemmyBeansWool.com. That's a great site to get some of their yarn. Anyways, and the next thing I'm going to show you guys is I got some fabric when I ordered my sister's baby nest. I got this little square. I figure I can make a mask out of it, like one of the foldy kinds. So I'll have to find a backing, but I just thought this was cute. It was like Jane Austen things. And I love me some Jane Austen. I love me some Pride and Prejudice, if y'all didn't know this. And along with all the other nerdy things I love. Jane Austen is right up there. But yeah, so I got this little square. I think it's super cute, and I want to just make a foldy front mask out of it. And I've got some stuff in my fabric stash, then I'll find me a backing. But I think it'll be cute. It'll be fun. So there's that. Yeah, you can get like this. That's like a sample swatch, 5-inch fabric or whatever, or I don't know how many inches. But anyways, so I got that. Just figured I'd make a little mask out of it. I also got, this is, I think, the dogwood denim, which I really like for bags. I think it's a great fabric for bags and like pillows that you want to be kind of sturdy but still soft. So I got this. This is another Jane Austen fabric, which I think is so cute. And I mean, I love it. It's just the peeps, you know, the words, and I love it. And they're Regency style garb. So I got that, and I also got this print with the books on it, all the Jane Austen books. So that's fun too. So what I want to do with this, I know I can. I'm going to sew up a bag for myself out of this, like a big knitting bag. So I don't know what kind yet or anything like that, like what kind of bag, but I did get this to make a bag out of, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'll put this on the bottom and this on the top, and I think it'll be super cute. So that is fun. So that is all of my stash enhancement for now. Like I said, I got a lot coming, so stay tuned. And make sure that you guys subscribe so that way you won't miss an episode of my podcast if you like my podcast. I'm going to do a giveaway the next podcast, so stay tuned. I'm going to sew up a bag and I'm going to give away some yarn. So yeah, stay tuned, subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you enjoyed it today, I would really appreciate if you gave me a like on my video. It helps me out. It just helps more people see my video, which is cool, and gets it out there more on YouTube. So I would really appreciate it. So, and if you have any questions, you can always leave me a comment below. I am happy to answer and happy to help. So thanks for tuning in once again and listening to me ramble on. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.